Welcome to my channel, Gadgets for Gentlemen. In this video I want to show you this beautiful watch, the Orient Ray 2, and I want to explain to you the reasons why I'm about to sell this watch. So maybe you decided to buy this watch, and my video could give you some more arguments on why to buy this watch, or maybe why not to buy this watch. So I hope my video will be helpful for you to make up your mind and make a more conscious choice for buying maybe your first automatic dive watch. I don't know. I'd like to hear from you in the comment section if you got anything out of this video and how you came up with the Orient Ray 2. So before we dive into this video on why I decided to sell this amazing watch, first I like to show you a wristwatch check. So today I am wearing this Citizen watch. I think this is the NY0040, and this is the one featuring a blue dial, and I wear it on a NATO strap, which is made from the same fabric as a seat belt, and I purchased this strap at WatchGecko, and I really love this watch. So let's get back to this watch at hand. I've had this watch for about a year now, and I had quite some fun wearing this watch. As you can see it, I'm not wearing it on the original metal bracelet, but I'm wearing it on this beautiful NATO strap by Zulu Diver. I also bought this strap at WatchGecko, and I think I will get to that point later. I think wearing this watch on a NATO strap makes it so much more comfortable compared to the original metal bracelet. But yeah, I'll talk more about it later on in this video. So what we have here is a beautiful Japanese automatic watch that is 200 meters water resist. It features the in-house automatic movement by Orient, and this watch both hacks and hand winds. We have a screw down crown here at the 3 o'clock position with the beautiful Orient logo, which I think are two lions, I guess, with a O standing for Orient and a crown, I guess. So we have a screw down crown here at the 3 o'clock position, and I'm now just loosening the screw down crown to the neutral position. Now what happens if I pull it out all the way? We can see that the movement hacks, and I really like this feature of this watch. For example, my Citizen watch, it does not hack. So when I pull out the crown here at the 8 o'clock position, then the seconds hands will just keep flowing. So this feature of the movement is quite excellent. Now let's move the minute hand a little bit, just like that. And when I push it back in, you see the movement will catch up. So yeah, that's the hacking feature. In the first position, which is this position, we can actually hand wind the movement. So in this position, when I wind it upwards, you can hear this sound. We can charge the movement manually. So normally the movement will just wind itself by just simply wearing it on your wrist, by the movements of your wrist, or by your watch winder. So I don't use the manual wind function that often, but it's a great feature. It's there. What I really liked about this watch is the very rich luminescence paint applied on these hour markers. It's really stunning in the flash, because this watch really lights up in the dark when you expose it to enough daylight. And here at the 12 o'clock position, we even have that little dot on the bezel that also lights up. So that's really a big plus about this watch. What else? I think that logo, as you can see here at the 12 o'clock position, is really pretty. And I think the font on the bezel looks really pretty. I'm just giving you now some, you know, some pros about this watch, and later I will just jump to the negatives. So here we have a screw down case back, allowing that water resistance. Yeah, we have a bit of it's not very, yeah, I don't know what to say. It's engraved. We have this logo of Orient that I don't think is really pretty, and it's etched into it very lightly. It's like it's not all the way compared to, for example, my SKX 013. Let's go over the negative points about this watch. So my first negative point about this watch is that date wheel here at the 3 o'clock position. I really dislike the fact that the date wheel is white. I would really love if the background of the date wheel was black, just like the watch face. Would have looked better in my opinion, or no date at all. I would, you know, I like a date wheel, but I think it's just not very pretty with this watch. And then again, I don't think the red on the Sunday really matches with both the second hand and with the Orient logo at the 12 o'clock position that has a little red dot. So yeah, I don't like the date wheel on this watch. I do think date wheels are very handy, but yeah, I don't really like it with this watch. Now, my biggest concern with this watch, I think, is the bezel action. I think this bezel is very flat, which makes it easier to wear under a dress shirt, so that's a plus. But the bezel is pretty hard to reach, to grab, to hold on to, and actually it kind of hurts a little bit even on your fingers, because it's a bit sharp and it's hard to grab. And comparing that, for example, to the Citizen, which makes it so easy to grip with these etched things on the bezel, and it's super easy to click it just like that. And with this bezel, it's very stiff, which I really like, but it's just difficult to reach. Yeah, I don't set timers or countdowns with this bezel as much as with my other dive watches. Another negative points, in my opinion, is the size. I do think this is 41.5 millimeters. It is a bit too big in my opinion, and it's quite thick from the bottom of the case all the way to the hardened mineral crystal. I think it's quite thick, and the lug to lug distance, that's all right. But overall, I would have loved a smaller profile. And if this watch was on the market also in a 38 or 39 millimeter version, I might rebuy it because I do think it's a really beautiful watch. But overall, it's just a bit too big for my 6.3 inches wrist. Now, I go over the original metal bracelet that can be found on this watch. So this is the original metal bracelet, and I want to talk about the bracelet a little bit, because I would say that the bracelet is actually very well made, especially in this price category. We have a Orient stamp here on the clasp, and this is engraved. We have this clasp, and that brings me to the first negative point on this bracelet. As you can see right here, the clasp doesn't really close all the way, in my opinion, but it bends back a little bit, which leaves me this gap, which I found super annoying. You see what I'm talking about? And I'm nitpicking here. I mean, these are not like key points, but I do really, with my little bit of OCD, I really dislike the fact that this sticks out like that. Even when I press it down, it stays like that. So that's a negative point on the bracelet. I do like the fact that we have a few micro adjustments, not many, but enough to find a proper fit. At least I managed to find a proper fit. I can either go one to the right, or I can go one to the left, which leaves me quite some option. We have this safety lock with these two pusher buttons, and yeah, this part is not the best part of the bracelet again, but it's not bad either. Something just fell down, and that's the end link, which is hollow. And yeah, I really dislike hollow end links, because it really rattles quite a lot on the wrist. So I would have loved if this bracelet came with a solid end link. Now, and this is a personal, very personal opinion, but I really dislike these polished parts here in the center link. On here, on these two sides, I really think these look very, I don't know. I don't think it's very classy, but I've seen them even with Grand Seikos, these kind of bracelets. So I guess it's just me being weird, but I would have loved the bracelet to be completely brushed. I mean, very simple, and not with these combinations of polish and brushed. So that's the bracelet. Here what just fell off was the hollow end link, which is super easy to attach to the watch. And we have some very thin, what's the word again? Spring bars, of course. So that brings me to the last point, and this is a very silly point, so please bear with me. What I really dislike is the fact that these holes here in the case where you attach the spring bar, they only allow for very thin spring bars. So very thin spring bars, just like these. And what I love with my dive watches, especially when I throw it on a NATO strap or a rubber strap, I like to replace the original spring bar, put it back in the case, and then throw in some aftermarket very thick spring bars, and put it in. And this does not allow, because the hole here is just very small. So all in all, what I can say is beautiful watch. I had it for over a year and I really liked it, but I had a bit of a love and hate relationship with this watch, because for my tiny wrists, Let me just show you again. I felt like this Orient watch is just a little bit too big, too thick. I didn't like the bezel. I didn't like the date wheel too much. And I definitely didn't like the original metal bracelet, although it was not bad at all, just not my taste. So I wore this watch many times on different NATO straps, black, khaki, all kinds of color combinations. And with a black dial, you can really, combine it with everything, with a beautiful rubber strap. And I decided to sell this watch, and just now I found someone willing to pay me an amount of money, which I think is, I think is a good price, especially considering the fact that I wore this watch for over a year, and it's still in great condition. But it is second hand, of course. So yeah, I found someone paying me quite some money, and I'm happy to let it go. Just wanted to make you this video in case you were maybe doubting whether to put a trigger on this watch. I hope my points either made you more confident to buy the watch, or maybe change your opinion, change your mind, and maybe you are going to look for an alternative watch. I can highly recommend, of course, one of my most beloved watches, being the Seiko SKX 007, 009, and 013. I've also gotten quite fond of this Citizen watch. That is also in the same kind of price category. What else? There is also another version. It's called the Orient Mako, and this watch also comes with a blue dial. It comes with a PVD coated all black. So yeah, definitely look into the brand Orient, and also look at other brands such as Seiko and Citizen. Maybe Steinhardt also makes pretty watches. And I hope this video was useful. If you liked it, then please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching, and see you soon.